Hello. I always get shocked when that comes on. So, hello, guys, and thank you for joining me. And without any further ados, I have Alien Addict. So, guys, please welcome my friend, Mr. Ollie from Alien Addicts.
Now then, my lad, how you doing?
Hello, hello.
You see, I get to see you in person. I get the pleasure to see you in person.
I wouldn't say pleasure.
It's an absolute pleasure, my friend. Uh, hidden. Are we? Actually, no. It's in the name. It's hidden. You can never do a reveal because you
Oh,
are hidden.
I am planning to show myself on the Halloween show, but I'm a bit
All right,
scared.
yeah, I get it. I get it. So
'Cause
you're gonna wear an alien mask.
you're not far off from the mark on that one because I'm toying with the idea of dressing up as the Crow and
Oh, I
putting
love
on
that film. I love that film.
it's an awesome film. And
Yeah,
they go on. You're gonna say the same thing I'm gonna say.
they're redoing it. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. Well, they've redone it, but it's not going to be a movie as well, from what I'm reading. It's going to be a 10-part mini series.
I, I don't know about it. I mean, he lost his life on the set of that film. I think it should be just kept as a gem, you know.
Oh, it always will be. It always will be. But we want more. We want more.
It's a good story.
It is. It is brilliant. Brilliant. But anyways, how are y'all doing? I see Tamara. Tamara, thank you so much for being here. Coco Chanel, Adventures to Anywhere. Hopefully he's coming up to join me on the Halloween show. So we got Alien Addict here. What do you want to be called? Alien Addict or Ollie?
Ollie's fine because you can't say alien addict.
Yeah, you can't say that 3 times.
Do you know so many people struggle with alien addict? It was going to be alien abduction, but it was like that's just crap. So alien addicts and because I like a beer, some people go, he's an addict. He is an addict. He's an alcoholic or whatever. Because I drink 3 beers on my show or whatever.
And it could be as well. If you had that title, you could turn up with just a blank screen, and then everybody would say, "Well, he's been abducted."
Yes,
So
I feel like doing it. You know, I feel like doing an alien hoax and seeing if I can get away with it, and then in like a year's time, just going, "I was only kidding, just an experiment."
So tell the audience, the guys out there who may not know who you are, what you do.
I I have a YouTube channel, just like hidden here, and nowhere near as successful. But nevertheless, I go live every Friday, and we talk about aliens, UFOs, and all sorts of weird stuff. And so sometimes Hidden comes on and joins us, don't you, my friend?
I do, I do. I'm always like a fish out of water on your channel because you talk about people that I may have heard of, but I just don't know.
We talk about a lot of the BS going on in ufology. We sometimes show clips of stuff and what have you. We actually showed clips of Jonathan Reed's footage last week and had some comments on which you had no idea because you haven't actually watched it. Which you're like, have you seen this? I'm going, yeah, mate. I was doing a show on it last week. Oh, I didn't
talk
know
about
that.
talk about Mr. Current Affairs here.
Yeah, but it's it's all good. We're approaching 10,000 subscribers. We're 8 and a bit now. So I feel like when you get the 10,000 mark, that's when, you know, that YouTube lifts a little bit of cap off it and helps you out a bit. So head on over to Alien Addict, people, and subscribe. I'm live every Friday night, and this Friday, Hidden, you're very welcome to join us. We are actually talking about the shapes of UFOs over how they've changed over time.
That should be interesting.
Well, you're more than welcome to join us, my friend.
Thank you. I think I might, but I do a little bit of 420 on your show as well, so sometimes I just end up laughing.
No, that's fine, mate. That's fine. Well, you probably end up laughing tonight then, because you've not watched all of the footage, have you, of Jonathan Reed's? We've found a new piece.
Oh yes, we have found a new piece. I call it the Alien Burrito, or the Burrito Alien, however you want to call it. And we're gonna look at this a bit later on, because first we got some other stuff to look at as always. And a really cool update. If you guys have you seen my video with the face in the TV screen?
No.
Oh, you're in for a treat then. You're in for a treat. Now, guys, I did this video, and like I said in the video, I don't know the source. I don't know when it was filmed or anything. And lo and behold, the person who filmed it got in contact with me. And not only did they tell me the information that we needed, like where, when, they even told me the room number. But they also sent me extra footage of this, so which I really am stoked to show you guys, because I love this kind of stuff.
So you've got an exclusive.
Well, yeah, I like to think so, but I don't want to say. And the person might be, because I did invite them to come onto the show to tell us their story of what was going on, why they were there. I even said, the moment I saw something like that, I would have left the room. So we've got that to look forward to. We got some UFOs, and we've got one UFO footage. I always show on the live shows the UFO footages that I will not do a video for some reason, and I don't know why I do it, but it's just something to look at for us to talk about and things. And I think we got a couple of other things, because Neil deGrasse, am I saying it right? Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Neil deGrasse Tyson, yeah.
Yeah, he said something very interesting about the Navy footage. Now, I know it was his opinion, but his opinion, it's kind of like, it's something like he thought out of the box on this one, because everybody's tearing apart the footage, but no one's like really saying what he said. And I think what he said makes some sense, so we'll get into that. But first, Ollie, what made you get into YouTube? Why did you say, I'm going to dip my toes in this big ocean of YouTube?
Well, my wife was pregnant at the time, and going to bed early, tired. And I'd rather than playing computer games and stuff like that, thought I need to do something a little bit constructive. And I loved looking at Mars images, and NASA footage, like actually looking at real footage and trying to see if I can see any hidden gems, which spurts way back to my father. Growing up, my father told me about a UFO he saw when he was in the Merchant Navy that shot over the ship at a speed that they couldn't comprehend, and they called it in. That's what got me into UFOs in the first place. But ever since growing up, I've always been interested in space and what have you. And I was just looking at NASA footage, Mars footage, Google Earth, and all that jazz. And I just thought, I'll just make some videos on little anomalies that I found. So it started off with one of these, probably a lot of pareidolia, where people would see faces in rocks. And I'll be honest with you, I probably did that a little bit. And some of the best faces that you've ever seen in rocks. But nevertheless, just a rock. And then it kind of evolved during when the lockdown started into live streams. And then I thought, you know what? It developed into a Friday show because I have Saturday off work. I thought, why not? I can have a few beers. I can enjoy my night like I'm out with my friends, but on a show with complete weirdos that like UFOs, like me. So yeah, that's why I do it.
Thank you, Jeff, for putting out Alien Addict's link. The
Appreciate
link
it,
to
Jeff.
his link to his channel is also in the description box, guys. So saying that now, let's just move on with the first thing. I always get messed up doing this. Do you have problems like with sharing the
Always.
screens? Oh, good. I'm glad.
Always have problems. StreamYard is not. I like it, but it's not exactly streamlined. There we go.
Okay. Well, let me get back to where I need to be. Okay. So the first point of call is this insignia. Have you seen this? You seen this insignia?
I've seen that. I'll be honest with you, I never realized that had anything to do with this. But I have.
Well, what's gone on? It caused such a great stir with the UFO in it, and
yeah,
everybody took notice. Even I posted it in my community tab for you guys to have a look, to check it out. That, are they messing with our minds here, or are they openly saying, look, we're going to be tracking UFOs along with planes as well? But then a few days later, they removed the insignia. So a lot of people were writing to me saying this isn't there. And from what I can gather, they're saying that all the attention that it drew, they removed it.
So this was this on the actual official site?
Yes, it was.
Right. So no one had just put the image out on Google, and this was on the official site. I did not know that.
No, it was on their official site, because I see, what I always do is when I post up something like this, I always put the link to the official source.
I think somebody from the national intelligence is probably trolling the community there,
It could be, but somebody said to me that, this logo cost a couple of million for them to make. Which
I mean, I could make that for. I'd do it. I'd do it for a tenner. Send me a few beers, national intelligence, and I'll make you one.
But so that is just the one that I wanted to cover, just to let you guys know that it's gone. They reckon that it's been removed because of the attention it was getting. I mean, you look at we're all into UFOs, and when the government's putting a flying saucer in their insignia, what do they think we're going to do? Ignore it? No one's going to. People were making videos about this.
If you look at it though, the actual flying saucer doesn't match the design. Do you know what I mean? It almost doesn't. It doesn't match that total design, the 3D-ness of it, because those planes aren't 3D. The flying saucer has a bit of 3D to it. I'm not saying that it's been. It's like going back to saying, I wonder if one of them was trolling. Like, I wonder if somebody may have lost the job over that. Do you know what I mean? They may have put that over it and just gone boom. Maybe the guy who was in charge of putting that out just was fed up of. Maybe he knew something was going on and thought, I'm going to add this to it and go out with a bang. But that actual, as somebody, I've dabbled in design, that doesn't look like it's supposed to be part of that design. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It does stand out. It really does stand out.
Now, if the flying saucer was just all blacked out, or just a darker gray than the Earth there,
Do you think it was meant to be a submarine? Did I say that right? Elizabeth Barrow is asking this question. Was it meant to be a submarine? It doesn't
If
look like
it's a submarine, the guy can't draw. You know.
He should lose his job on that.
Yeah, it's a NAF submarine.
So
I like it though. It's interesting.
So now this leads me into what Neil deGrasse Tyson said about the Navy. I know that's not Navy, but it does. Did you catch it with Third Phase and DrJ when they interviewed him?
Yes, I watched that. Well, I say watch that. I listened to it. I put it on the way to work.
Well, let me just pull it up for you guys and have a listen. Now, the first part that I did put on is the Navy footage that I believe that they were talking about in question.
Yeah, I remember this bit. Blake asked some great questions there, to be fair.
Yeah, I didn't get as again. I didn't catch the whole show. I mean, be honest, when I'm working, I sometimes put you in the background and I'm there, and I always say, look, I'm listening, but I'm working. And I do it with other channels as well that I like. I always say, look, I'm working, but I'm listening. So I didn't watch the whole interview. But here, guys, this is let me play what they were saying. So, guys, first, this is the official Navy footage of is this the Go Fast or the Gumball?
That's Gimbal.
Gimbal. See, this is why I shouldn't be having my own show. I can't say nothing right. All right, guys, we're going to play this now.
Dude, this is a fucking drone, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not an LNS though, is it? It's not. That is an LNS, dude. Well, if there's look at that thing. It's rotating.
Notice these are only happening in restricted airspace. So I'm just making this up. Maybe the Navy intentionally put artifacts in their video just to see how the pilots react and what they would report it as. And we have psychologists and other experts taking note on how did they perform under these situations. That's easier for me to believe because notice it only happened in restricted airspace. Because by the way, if that stuff happened outside of restricted airspace, it would mean passenger liners would see it. It would show up on their radar. It would show up on FAA's radar. It would people would be able to photograph it with the high resolution smart cameras, and none of that happens. Maybe the Navy intentionally put artifacts in their video just to see how the pilots react and what they would report it as. And we have psychologists and other experts taking note on how did they perform under these situations. That's easier for me to believe because notice it only happened in restricted airspace.
So what's your take on that?
Maybe the Navy put artifacts in their videos to test the pilots, like you do. you know, it seems pretty dangerous to put stuff on. To put like images. I don't know how they would do that on a live feed. Because it's a live. Is he talking about when they're in the plane or when they're showing it an analysis afterwards? Well, I think he's talking live.
Yeah, he would have to be talking live because, like you said, that's a live feed. So they would have to somehow manipulate the cameras to put that in there. But then wouldn't they be able to see the same object with their eyes? unless it was cloaked
But that doesn't explain the them being able to track it, you know.
with their onboard systems.
Yeah, it doesn't explain that unless they were manipulated as well.
So
and that doesn't explain I mean, it's a different one to the gimbal, but it doesn't explain Fravor seeing it with his naked eye.
Yeah.
You know,
Unless
you might be able to fool a system. You might be able to be fooled by a system, but to look out with your actual eyes and see a UFO. I know the gimbal is completely separate to Fravor, but I don't. Neil, you're probably a very intelligent man, a lot more intelligent than I am, but I don't think that. I don't know why they would do that. To test them for what? To test the pilots that with something that move. I mean, that gimbal for me and a lot of other people that are not in the know, he doesn't have any spectacular movements. You know,
with that video there that we just watched.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a guy that is in the he's in the Air Force, the RAF, and he at Lossiemouth base, he fixes planes and he looks at the systems. And so I showed him this. I said, "Is this like? Does this look like something that you've never seen?" He says, "Well, it looks odd," but he says, "In terms of movement, it doesn't. But it's Fravor's that the movement and Go Fast that where the movement is dramatic." But I just don't think that they would be, the Navy would be doing that to their own people. Why? What to do? It sounds a bit dangerous that to put something there. What if they wanted to take this thing out? You know, they thought they were under attack or whatever.
Well, maybe it is like what Tyson said. Mr. Tyson said is that they just want to see their reactions and how their mind would interpret what they're watching.
So I can understand their reactions, but then why get the public's reaction as well?
That's a different kettle of fish, and that's always the thing that when I'm on your show, I always say I feel that the narrative is trying to be controlled. And I still feel this now. I'll give you an example. I started out this show saying, you know, there's not a lot of footage out there. Now, when I started this channel, and the channel, I think it's coming up to 6 years now, 6 years old, in a few days, the channel's going to be 6 years old. When I started out this channel, I was swamped with footage. I could pick and choose the best footage that I wanted to put out there. Mm-hmm. Now we're all in the same boat.
Well, UFO got banned on YouTube. The word, I had to go through all my old videos and take the word UFO out of the algorithm.
And what was the word that you was allowed to replace it with?
I think you could use UAP. Exactly.
And this is what I'm trying to say. The narrative is trying to be controlled. So even if they knew that was a fake UFO, let's say Mr. Tyson's right. Let's go on this side here and say Mr. Tyson's right, and they are doing it. Then to release the footage would be also to see how we would react as a public. And I think it came and bit them in the backside, because a lot of people that believe in UFOs were like saying, hold on, this footage ain't right. And I've seen channels that are UFO channels will play anything up there, you know, turning around saying, hold on, and debunking these footages themselves.
There's so many channels out there that are so impressed by these 3 pieces of footage: Go Fast, Gimbal, and the Tic Tac. And I'm kind of like, I've never been really impressed by it. The Tic Tac one, more than any of them. You know, the first, the one that actually, the where the radar unlocks for a second. The other two, not so much. And the gimbal one, the least. For me.
Please do, Helen. Please send me the thing. And Tamara, I just got a message. Thank you so much for your kind donation. Thank you. Back to the last video that we watched now. Our great friend, Mr. West, he tried to debunk that by saying it was an afterburner of a jet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said that it was a jet with one engine out. I believe that's what he was saying. One engine was out of the jet, so you're only seeing one engine.
Well, and what is more to it is when I looked at what he was saying, there are footage of afterburners on these cameras, and it did kind of look similar. I'm not going to say it looked exactly the same. I'm not saying that. Oh, thank you so much, man. I'm not gonna say it looked the same, but it looked very similar. And if you had the right kind of angles, I suppose, you could have pulled that off. But I just wanted to share that because I thought that's one thing outside of the box. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I did watch that video with third phase. That's towards right to the end, isn't it?
I just found that I just went and got the clip, so I really
okay. I think that's towards the end. Anyway, I didn't. That kind of went over my head when I was driving. So now that's just hitting home, and I'm like, no, I don't buy that theory, Neil.
Well, all Neil was saying, I'm not defending him, and I'm not like, I'm saying what he said because, like he said at the beginning, this is just me, and I'm gonna put this out there, and that was just his thoughts on one of his thoughts on what this could be because I believe he's the kind of guy that believes rational, like there's no UFOs, there's nothing. Am I correct?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he believes that there's no UFOs. I don't think he believes that there's little green men in them.
Yeah, obviously, because they're blue. And we'll get to that. Okay, man. So we're going to move swiftly along. And what have I got next lined up for you guys? I've got a UFO footage that I think I'm 50-50 with this. I am 50-50 with this.
Well, you know, I'm a massive skeptic now.
Well, this is going to make you even more skeptical. So let me just get this all ready up here, man. The Halloween show should be fun, Ollie, because I'm going to do a bit of 420.
When is it?
It's going to be on Sunday the 30th.
Okay.
We're going to have a late night show. Okay, so this footage that I'm going to show you. Let me get a big screen up. The footage that I'm about to show you. Where am I? There we are. This was captured in Tijuana, Mexico. Again, no sources. This was caught on September the 20th, 2022. So I'll let this play. Where are we? Here we go.
Si lo puedo tomar.
I need to take. There
Hacia
we go.
arriba del árbol. Oh.
See now, it's that one is pretty easy to fake.
Yeah.
because we don't see it till he zooms in.
You'd see a dot. You'd see something.
I mean, this could be a cloud, to be honest. If it's real, it could be a cloud. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I look at it and I'm 50-50 on this. Oops. I don't want you all to see what I watch on my free time.
It's pretty much the same as me, Mr. Bean.
So, well, while I'm asking Ollie, what do you guys think in the chat about that video? And if you want to see it again, let me know and we'll show it again. But what do you think about that video, Ollie?
I've seen so many like that, and they are so as soon as they zoom in and it's there, you don't get anything after. You don't get any sort of zoom in between, and when you don't get that, and also when they stop filming straight away, it always rings alarm bells for me. When it just, it instantly appears on the zoom. It's there while it's zoomed in, which would be really easy to just put a quick edit in there. I mean, the things you can do with software now, it's crazy. I've seen how footage is faked. I mean, I used to Lion's Ground, yeah.
Yeah.
So me and him, we had a bit of a falling out, but we used to be good friends. And he faked a UFO to show how it was done, and it looked real, and it was a lot better than that. So the things people can do if you know how to work software.
Oh yeah, and this is the whole point where sometimes I get very hesitant about showing things.
No, but if you don't show it, then I think there's a difference, and it kind of annoys me when people, because I used to debunk stuff all the time. When I stopped putting out the silly Mars images and the moon images, some of them weren't so silly, but some of them were.
At least you weren't doing like Scott and coloring them.
Scott Seawaring. Oh my God, I got 2 copyright strikes off that man. Taking the piss out, taking the mick out of him.
I'm trying to get him to come on the show.
Get me on with him.
I don't think he'll come on.
No, but yeah, I used to color stuff in. I'd say let's do a Scott Seawaring, and I'd physically get a marker pen and color them in just to take the Michael out of Scott. But I did 2 debunks on Scott. One about his gerbil on Mars, and he just kicked off, and he gave me 2 copyright claims in the space of a day. So one of them I got overturned, the other one I didn't manage to get overturned. But hey ho.
Third phase is in the house. I see.
Third phase of moon.
How you doing, brothers? I see that they fell foul of Mr. Scott.
Yep, they don't get on with him either. So that's what you should do. Yeah, get Scott Seawaring on and get me and get Third Phase of Moon in the same room as him.
I have asked him. I don't think he'd come on. I wouldn't do that to the guy. I mean, all I gotta say is this: I know what he's doing, and there's realms of entertainment in this. I mean, I also class myself as an entertainer as well. I like to try and entertain you with the truth, because I think rather than doing all these fake videos and having a channel that just solely relies on putting out fake videos, if you're doing like what the French guy did, what's his name? Sector 52?
Section 51.
51.
Very good friends with that man.
Oh, he's a nice guy. He's a great guy. I absolutely respect him, and I absolutely loved his videos. But he also put in the bracket CGI.
However,
So
I'll be honest, and I've said this to his face. He was faking UFOs for a very long time and earning quite good money on it. Yeah.
yeah,
But he never put CGI in the title. But I also kind of get it because everything was CGI. It was so far-fetched. It was beyond far-fetched. If somebody believed that, then they have issues.
that's why I couldn't understand why the debunkers kept on going after him.
Yeah, I mean,
it's lazy debunking.
I did a debunk on Section 51 once when I first found his channel, but it was a really good one that he'd done. And yeah, I didn't debunk him again after that when I realized that every single video was like that, because I wondered if the guy was trolling or not, but he had to do the CGI thing because I think YouTube took the monetization off him. But I've got to know him. He's a lovely bloke. Well, it's two brothers. They've got a gaming channel as well. But yeah, going back to what you were saying is, what should you do with the footage? If you've got some footage, should you put it out there or not? The boys, third phase of moon, lots of people have had their run-ins with third phase of moon, but one thing that they do is they get something sent. They don't sit on anything. They put it out straight away. And I've kind of realized over the years, because a lot of debunkers, they do the same thing. Instead of kind of like asking some questions about why they've put that video out in the first place, they will go straight after that YouTube channel quite nastily, and they do it for the exact same reason that third phase of moon have put the video out in the first place, because it's if you put it out fresh, it's going to get some. You're not going to put videos out not to get numbers. I mean, we don't do YouTube for the sake of it, But a debunker does the same thing. They will debunk something very fast because they want to be the first person to debunk it. I know, because I used to do that. And that's what they do. They think, I'm going to debunk this first, and sometimes they don't think about everything with the debunk. They may think they've got the debunk correct, and they possibly have, but they don't stop to ask themselves, was this channel just asking the question, what is this? And if you look at some of the big UFO channels, the Secure Team 10, yourself, Third Phase of Moon, if you listen, they say, what do you guys think?
Yeah,
you've got to listen.
Yep, that's exactly what I say. But there's times like, go on, sorry.
I'm going to say, because hidden in them videos, sometimes you find some absolute gems. Sometimes you could ask the question, that's a bit, I don't know what that is, but would I have put it out if somebody has sent me it? Quite possibly. So these channels, they don't sit on anything. They just put it straight out there. They ask the question, and I think if they genuinely think it's CGI, they don't put it out anymore. Like, I had a conversation with Blake and Brent, and they said in the past they may have done that and put something out that's CGI, knowing it's possibly CGI, but just putting it out anyway. But I think when you get into ufology and you actually start to know the community, you realize you can't just do that anymore. You've got to put stuff that your audience is going to ask the questions. You put stuff out there that you don't know what it is. You don't know if it's been faked or not. Do these big channels put fake UFO videos? Probably. Do they know the fake? Probably not.
Probably not. No, I agree with that 100%. What you're saying. There are channels. There's channels right now. There's UFO channels right now that just put anything out there, and we can look at it and we know what it is, but they're just throwing it out there just to hoping something will stick. And I gotta say, when in my first year of doing the channel, I was kind of a bit like that. I was like, okay, let's put this out there. Let's put that out there. Let's put that out there. It looks cool. It looks cool. But then one of my viewers wrote to me, and I wish I could remember his name to say, you know what, you are a fundamental part of the channel, because he wrote to me and he said, you're actually doing something good here. And all you're doing with putting out videos like this is a mud in the water, and you're not doing yourself any favors. And I sat back and I looked at it, and I thought about what he was saying, and I thought, I could actually do something here rather than just entertain people with any bollocks. Let's entertain them with the truth. Well, because there are things out there. Let's do it that way. But here's a question. Now, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that name. Dimia says anybody who posts videos without checking if it's fake is a cancer to the UFO subject, whether or not you say. What do you guys think?
I would say that if you can't find out if it's fake and you ask the audience if it's fake, if you don't know yourself if it's fake, because you never know, you could be sat on, and I'm saying this as a creator who wants to get, I don't put UFO footage out. I don't do that. I just have a talk show. But I'm speaking, if I was Secure Team 10, First Phase of the Moon, yourself, or whoever the others are that put UFOs, actual UFOs on the channel and don't just talk about the drama in ufology. It's hard. I can imagine that is a hard job to sieve through the shit, you know, to get the decent stuff. I imagine that's almost impossible. So you might find some that you think, I don't know what that is. Should I put it out anyway? And ask the audience, because this could be huge, and I may sit on this and I may kick myself because it may actually be real. You know, there's probably those ones that you ask yourself, and there's stuff that I've seen that I look and go, that's fake. That's got to be fake. But then I look at it and think, how has that been faked? I have no idea how that has been faked.
I just try. I play on the principle. That's why I'm happy that I'm doing the live shows now, because the footage that I don't like, that footage there, I had it and I'm there. What do I do? Do I put it out? Do I not put it out? And then I saw, you know what? I'm going to show it on the live show, and then we could talk about it again, because I'm 50-50 with it, and I couldn't put my heart into making a video about it and saying, "Oh, look, this is an object." You know, I don't know if it's CGI. I don't know if it's a cloud. There is a little bit of a backstory to it, where the guy said when he was filming it. Should we just show it again for you guys so you know that?
Yeah.
Here, I'll just get that off. Okay, we'll show you again, and then I'll tell you what. I'll take out the sound.
I think the sound helps.
Oh, you want? Okay.
Yeah, because you kind of get a feeling for.
Okay, there you go.
Sí lo puedo tomar.
It's like he just zooms in and bang, it's there.
Hacia arriba del árbol.
Can you translate it?
I could probably get it translated.
I think if you hit YouTube translation.
No, I got a Spanish person who I send it over to, and she'll give me the
YouTube will put English subtitles up for what he's saying.
Yeah, but YouTube ain't that good.
Okay.
See, so there it is closer up. I mean, it has the shape of a flying saucer. But
it looks like the artifacts that are coming on the screen there. It looks almost like I can't tell if they're matching or not.
See, I'm half and half.
I don't think the artifacts are matching.
The more I look at it, what do you mean?
So you know these image artifacts that are there. You know, like the little blocks, like the Minecraft blocks that are going across.
Yeah.
I don't think they're actually happening with the object. So usually that's what I'd look for. But I don't know. It looks, there's something off about that.
Well, and what he also said is while he was filming that, it shut off. So he didn't like stop filming. It shut off.
That's, you know, the conversation we were having before about did you look at the UFO that I saw?
I gotta say no.
Oh, but I've only just told you about it. Just like 5 minutes before we start the show. If you click on my channel, you're welcome to play it. But the backstory of this is it's literally it's a 50-second video because I got out of the car. I chased this thing. It went shot over the field. It shot over the car first. Then it went over a field, and then it went down. And I'm like, I asked myself if it was a balloon, but I thought I don't think it can be a balloon. Because one, you can hear the weather. It wasn't that windy. And this thing was going, I don't know, it must have been going at least 45 miles an hour. 30 to 45 miles an hour, I think, over, because it went over the car like that, about that sort of speed. So like the speed of a bird. But yeah, if you go on the channel, it's like one of it's or I can share it if you want.
I got it.
You got it. I actually call the video, I think it's called Blue UFO or Balloon or something.
Well, so guys, we're in for a treat. We're gonna get to watch a video that Ollie of Alien Addicts filmed himself. Yeah,
exactly. A UFO channel filmed a UFO, and I almost didn't put it out because I thought, people are going to think I fake this.
You know what? I'll tell you something real quick, and then I'll show you a video. My partner filmed something. Yeah, many years ago, maybe about 3-4 years ago. She was outside. She liked sunbathing. She was outside sunbathing. She noticed this black object in the sky. And she started filming it, and this object just ascended into the sky. So she gave me the footage. I put it on my channel, and about 50% of the comments are, "What are the odds that a UFO channel will actually get a UFO?" So I understand where you're coming from with people disbelieving. Unless
it was some dirty teenager with a drone spying on your missus sunbathing.
Then they would have came down for a closer look.
when she realized, that's when it shut up.
Okay, here we go. I don't think I can enlarge it.
You might have to make it. You should be able to. You should be able to click. Should be a large button. Somewhere.
No, I can't see it. I can't see it unless it's in here. No.
As much as I can zoom in. Is there no large button? Let me have a look.
No, I'm not finding it.
People are like, why did you film it?
Just stop the car.
Why didn't you film it landscape? I'm like, I didn't think.
And see what that was. I think it was a balloon, in all honesty, but it was flying past me, and it looked like one of those space robot guys. You know, like the Stormtrooper balloon.
Like Stormtrooper balloon. Like that's what it kind of looked like, as a jetpack guy.
Probably a balloon.
But yeah, you can't really see that there. It's but you see, it's coming down to down to land.
I can see the little faintly. I can see it.
Yeah, this field here. That's what it went over. And that's going down now. It's not still going. It's going down, and this thing's long.
It's gone. I've literally just stopped the car to go and see what that was. I think it was a balloon, in all honesty, but it was flying past me, and it looked like one of those space robot guys. You know, like the stormtrooper balloon. It looked like that, but it went
Straight
really,
down,
really fast.
like
No
a
idea.
like would you say like a
Probably
controlled
blue.
descent?
Yeah, that's exactly like it, like one of Elon Musk's rockets. But we don't have them over Leeds. But yeah, it went down. Weird.
Wow, wow, wow. And did you go over to the area to see?
I didn't know exactly where the area was. I was on my way home. So literally, no, I didn't. But I kind of thinking about that now. Probably should have done. Because then I'd have found out what it. No, well, I don't know if I would have found out what it was. I don't know how I'd have found that area. Do you know what I mean? If you're driving past somewhere and you see something that far away, it's kind of hard for you to navigate to where that thing would have. I have no idea where that landed, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it could have been a balloon, mate. It really could have been. It was the oddest shaped balloon if it was a balloon. I think if you go and check it out and you blow it up in full, I can send you the file anyway, mate. I've got the file on my phone. You can blow it up. It's
you know what? If you send it over, we can show it again on our next show.
Cool. I'll send it to you, mate.
Guys, we'll be in for a treat, and I'll work my magic on it and try and pull it out a bit more better so we can have a better look at this. So yeah, that's. And how did you feel seeing that? Was you like blown away or?
No, I don't want to say I was blown away because I didn't know exactly. You can hear me saying in there, I think it was a balloon. But then as I was driving off in the car, I'm thinking, there's hardly any wind. That thing went straight over the car, went over the field, and then descended. So if it was a helium balloon, it must have. It was blowing that way. Then all of a sudden, the helium just escaped it. It slowly, and then it went down. It would have to be a balloon with some sort of control. Can you get balloons? You may be able to get balloons. I don't know that have some sort of control, but I doubt it with helium in them. A miniature hot air balloon.
Well, to be honest, they do have the traffic monitors in America. So again, in America, to monitor the traffics, they strap balloons to a drone.
Right.
So I mean, I had a video on there, and I had a video that I portrayed as a UFO, unknowingly what it was, and it was only until a couple of days later when. It wasn't just my video, so I'm not going to say the video went viral, but videos go viral because, say, 10, 15 channels show the videos. So it's out there. So once this video got out there, the people, the highway safety people, they issued a statement saying, yeah, it was us. It was our balloon. They showed pictures of how they did it. So you can have a controlled descent with a balloon if you attach it to drones, I suppose. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
David Banner here is saying, did it land over a housing estate? If so, it's probably a drone. I think that was a housing estate. It looked like it. So my guess is it probably landed over, but it didn't look like a drone, if you know what I mean. And if you have the raw footage on your phone, you can kind of zoom. You can on an iPhone, you can zoom into your videos. When you zoom in, I should do an edit of it, but literally, as soon as I got in the car, I got the raw footage from the iPhone and just made a YouTube short and just put balloon or UFO. So I uploaded it straight away within a few seconds of getting in the car, back in the car. Before I got home, I uploaded that video. So,
okay. Well, we're going to move swiftly along to the oh god,
the meat and bones.
Nah, that's coming. That should be coming after the next one. So you haven't seen the ghostly face in the TV screen, have you?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna show him the video that I did, and then guys, if you haven't seen it as well, you're in for a treat. If you've seen it already, well, God, I'm going to bore you again with this footage. So,
Do I need to
here.
make my screen big? Is it going to make me jump?
Oh no, it won't make you jump. It's. You know what the thing is about real ghost footage? They tend never to make you jump.
No.
That's the thing. I have seen a couple that have freaked me out that are real.
I'm supposed to be staying at 30 East Drive,
Okay.
which is one of the most haunted house. I think it's the most haunted house in England. I think it's most haunted house in Europe, actually. But there's a channel that I know called Ghost Tech Paranormal, and I'm going to be staying in that house with them probably next year. So that should be fun. Doing a live show from there.
Oh, that sounds awesome, man. That sounds awesome. I actually got the wrong video.
Well, he's going to convince me that ghosts are real.
Well, you don't believe in ghosts?
I've seen them apparently. I've seen things that are weird that I can't explain myself. Don't know if they're ghosts, but when I was a kid, I used to go into my mum's room. My dad was in the Merchant Navy, like I told you earlier, and I used to tell my mum that I used to see a white lady in the room, standing, staring, smiling. Every single night this happened, apparently. My mum said I used to come in the room saying I'd seen a white lady. Then one night, I have no recollection of this. I was very young. Then one night my mum woke up and she saw a white lady at the bottom of the bed holding a baby. And the next day she had a miscarriage.
Oh dear.
Very weird.
And after so you what now as an adult you want to see something real?
I've seen weird stuff, like what people would say as shadow figures and things like that. I never used to believe in things like that, but I don't know if I was hallucinating, but I freaked my wife out one night. Put it that way. I don't know if it's just dreaming or generally just being a little bit out of it or poorly, ill. If you're in the States, you don't understand what poorly means. But when you get ill, you can hallucinate and see things in the corner of your eye. This wasn't in the corner of my. I once saw something sat on the edge of my bed, and I got up out of bed, and my wife was like, "What you doing?" And I was just stood up straight, and I said, "There's something sat on the edge of the bed." And she said, "You're freaking me out." And I went, "Don't worry, it's nice." And then I turned over and went back to sleep. And that's I can remember doing that, but it's almost like I can't remember doing it. I asked my wife about it. Well, my wife said to me, "Do you remember doing that?" And I went, "Yeah, I do." And I thought I dreamt it, but I could have been asleep. It could have been like sat up in bed, if you know what I mean, still asleep. But it seemed real in my head.
Can I just say before I start this video, I don't know if I said this already, but Tamara, thank you so much for your kind donation. It's most appreciated. Thank you so much. Okay, so
mushrooms. No, it wasn't mushrooms. Unfortunately, no.
We love David Banner, man. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to show you the video that I made of this, and then we'll get into it. Okay. Oh dear.
There you go.
I'm see. Oh God, all the mistakes. I hate making mistakes. Here we go, guys. So our next clip is of this ghostly face that comes through the static at an undisclosed Super 8 hotel. Now this footage comes with no audio. So guys, let's take a look at the clip and we'll have a very quick chat afterwards. So, guys, yet again, I don't know the location of this and I don't know the date of when this was captured, but this was posted about 6 days ago. And the witness stated that while he was staying at this hotel, he was messing around with the TV channel, and he said the TV in the room, by the way, is a Samsung, only has 1 to 68 channels. Now, when he got to channel 73, the logo on the TV says TV Plus. You can see this in the video on the corner.
It's Plus TV.
This TV station no longer broadcast. It hasn't broadcast for a while. And then this face came true. Now, guys, here's my thoughts on this. Now, I absolutely love this video, but my problem is the lack of audio. But because the lack of audio, do I discount it? No, I don't. Because I'm looking on it this way. If it is fake, it's a very entertaining fake. But if it's real, man, this is creepy as hell. But guys, it doesn't really matter what I think. What matters is what do you guys think? So until next time, stay blessed and keep safe.
I think that could have been After Effects.
Right. Now, as in like what? A
The
screen.
software After Effects.
Okay.
Adobe After Effects.
Well, now what's interesting now is that when the person got in touch with me, like I said, they gave me more footage. And in one of the footage, it's quite interesting because they do, I'm yabbering while I try and pull it up. But in one of the footage, they do change the channels. And one thing that was wrong with that is the source that I got the footage from, it didn't have any, it didn't come with any sound. And that was where I got it from, and it had no sound, but it did have sound. The original has sound. And what they said to me that they found quite eerie was the fact that the static itself had no sound. So I'll give you the information to the video. And it's they took it in Barrie, Barrie. Let me just type that in for you guys. BARR. There you go. They typed it there. They typed it. They filmed it there. I believe that's in Ontario. It's in Ontario, Canada. They stayed there. This happened on September the 4th. And the room number, so if anybody's out there in Canada and they know where, they know where Barrie is, or Barrie, but however I'm pronouncing this, if they know where this is, this was filmed in room 404. And let's take a look at the extra footage. You down with that, Ollie?
Yeah.
Got it queued up.
The thing is, why does somebody all of a sudden decide to film a static TV?
Well, they didn't all of a sudden decide to film it. They saw the face, and that's what they started filming.
Oh, so they'd seen the face before, and they thought,
yeah.
See, I would be already out of that hotel.
That's it. You know what? That's exactly what I said to them. I said I would have left. Why? Because I asked them why didn't they leave, and they said, "Well, I've
seen Poltergeist."
you know what I mean. The TV would have to leave the room. But hey, let's. Oh, I gotta press play over here. Okay, so here is the footage that I got, but this is it with sound.
We're not hearing anything, mate.
That's it. That's what they said. There was no static. This is the extra footage now that they emailed me.
You see, if you get a face and you put that face into I mean, I'm not bad at editing it, but so for anybody who's used Photoshop, let's just go. Oh, you can hear that.
There's one in here where they turn in the channel. Here it is. Someone snoring.
Hang back. Go back. Go back. Go back. I figured it out. They faked it. I'll tell you how.
Is that fine from there?
No, do it when it's flipping through the channels.
Yeah, this is it. This is where he's flipping through the channels.
Right, watch. See, look how it's 2-7. Yeah, you see the bit in the top corner when it's flipping through them, and it's going through all the different channels. 8, 7, 2, 73. Okay, I don't know. I stand corrected. You must have skipped ahead. It looked like that 73 didn't come up. Right. Okay. So I'm wondering if that's let's say it is fake. I'll explain how it's been done. You would screen record flipping through the channels, and then when you get to the static video, you would overlay a face, but you would fade that you'd put the face into a color. It does look a different shade. It looks almost like a sepia color, like of an old photo. And you would fade that down to probably, I'd say, about 20% translucent, so that you see the fuzz behind it. So the fuzz is there. That's if you're going to fake that's how you do it, because it's a still image.
The fuzz is also around his mouth as well.
Yeah, no, but if you fade something right down to, so it's, if you got my face, yeah, and you made it so I was see-through, which you can do in all the editing softwares, you would see my curtains behind me. But you put my face over a fuzzy TV, you would see the fuzz still through my face, because I'm just saying that if it was faked, that's how it would be done.
Okay.
I could definitely do that. That's not a hard one to do if it was faked.
Okay.
You literally him flipping through the channels there. You pre-record yourself flipping through the channels, screen record yourself doing that somehow. Yeah. Put that onto a memory stick or whatever. Then you put, so the whole thing is an edit rather than, do you get what I mean? The whole thing is one edit.
Yeah.
Even flipping through the channels is an edit.
And then what? Put it on a memory stick and then play it through the TV, and then record it like that.
Yeah. You image capture it. Capture cards or whatever. People, if the gamers, they use capture cards on the TVs, yeah, and then they put it into the computer. Then they put it into the computer to edit the gaming footage. But if you flip through the channel with a capture card, you capture what you just capture the screen, yeah. You could then take that screen, put it into some editing software, and then all you do is you play it back.
Well, the viewers think you're on point, man, with that.
That's how it would be done.
Yeah.
But You know,
I like it. I still like it.
I like it all. I love the fake videos. I'm you know, even if they've got a bit of mystery to them and I can't totally disprove it, I like them.
Well, my thing about this video is this: that the person who filmed it actually got in contact with me and sent me over all those other videos. So this is why I lean over to the side that I believe this, because fakers, they tend to give you simple answers, or "Man, I can't talk, I'm really busy," but they're not that open to give you other footage.
Well, I interviewed a guy who has slept with aliens and drawn pictures of them, and sent me more pictures of them as well. He's coming back on, so they, you know, they will get in touch with you.
Okay, all right.
But maybe it's right. You know, this guy should get in touch with one of the ghost channels as well. You know.
Well, I don't see. I think what's happened, because they didn't come to me. I found the footage, and I had it sitting on my computer for a few days, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it because I really like it. You know, and that's what happens sometimes, and that's what I did. And then they got in contact with me after seeing it, and so. I did tell them that I will talk about it on a live show, so it's not going to go out there on a video to get views as well.
It's definitely worth talking about. Definitely worth talking about. Me personally, because I'm a massive skeptic, I personally think that I just don't. It's the whole. I've just seen a ghost on the TV. Let me get my phone out. I'm going to film that ghost. Not I'm just seeing that horrible face on the TV. I'm going to turn the TV off. Not only that, I'm going to leave this hotel room. That's the bit that doesn't sit well, because if I'd have seen that, I would be getting a different room, unless you're really, really curious and you've got balls of steel.
Balls of steel. I mean, because I have a channel, I wouldn't be so quick to run out of the room, and I would tape it.
You say that until you've been in that situation.
Well, I've never seen things like that on the TV, but yeah.
Because that face, you know, that face reminds me of, and it's not that face, but it reminds me of that scene in Exorcist where it's a split second, and it's the most horrible face you've ever seen. And I've forgotten they call the face something. It's a bit like the smiling man, but it's the devil over it, and it's just this white drawn out face. It like, I think the lights flash on and you see it for a split second, and then it goes. That face reminds me of that. Not as scary, but still creepy. And I would be out of that hotel. I don't even think I'd pay. I'd just do one.
Yeah, just show them the video and say, the hotel's already occupied.
Yeah, there's somebody in my room. There's somebody in my TV.
Bonjour. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Burrito Alien. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? So,
blast from the past.
Well, I'm going to let you. Can I let you talk about this bit more?
I'm interested to find out what you think of it as well. But yeah, I'll definitely speak about it. But this is so interesting for me, because you've just decided to do this. You didn't realize that DrJ interviewed the guy, I think, a week ago.
No, I didn't.
Because I sent you that. I said, "Have you not seen the interview?" Because we were talking about it, and I said, "Have you not seen the interview?" And you said to me last night, "Holy shit!" you know, and I caught you watching it when you asked me to come into the show early, because I came on early and you were still watching the DrJ's interview.
I like the interview.
It's a good interview. Yeah, it's a great interview.
That's why I don't want to go into too. Well, we've got footage to show you that we're going to talk over the footage and talk about it, but I don't want to go too much into details because I really want this guy on the show. And Ali, if I do get him on, will you come on with me?
I don't think you'd want me on with him, but yeah, definitely.
No, because I think it's good because I'm one of those guys that I don't know how to put it, but I know that you will question him. And that's what we need. We need somebody here that will ask the questions, possibly that I won't think of, because I'm just amazed in the story. So, do you want to give?
Question? Do I want to give what?
I was going to say, do you want to give a little brief history on Dr. Jonathan? And while I rush to the toilet.
Yeah. So I mean, I know about as much as anybody's watched over the years. I watched this guy. I think I saw a clip on YouTube quite a few years ago of this guy that goes out into the woods. The backstory is he goes out, he's walking his dog. I think I'm going to get this right. It's a Labrador, and his Labrador runs off, and he hears the Labrador barking, and she's barking. He says, for anybody that knows their dog, he knew that this was a bark that was it was distress in her bark. And he goes through this kind of drop, and it drops down in the woods. And the dog looks like it's got hold of what is a little boy or girl. And it looks like the dog looks like it's got the arm, it's growling and what have you. And I can't remember the dog's name, but he's like, get off. And he's screaming to the dog to get off. And then he realizes that it's not the dog that's got hold of the little person. It's the little person that's got hold of the dog. And this little person is in fact a strange looking alien thing. Then all of a sudden, the hand that's got hold of the dog kind of morphs, separates off, and tears the dog's head wide open and kills the dog. Dr. What's his name? Dr. What's his name?
Jonathan Reed.
Yeah, Dr. Reed then has a big stick and wallops the alien in the side of the head, at the back of the head, and it hits the ground. So then he buggers off home because he feels extremely sick, and the smell is horrible of this alien looking thing on the floor. He goes home, but then he decides he's going to get his camera and go back out to the forest and film it. But not only film it, he picks it up, wraps it up in a giant burrito wrapper thing and takes it home. And he also saw this strange triangular craft that is about the size of a table in the middle of the woods.
We'll see. Now this story is this story now, I'm gonna answer, is it Brooker? It's debated as, is it a hoax, is it not? We'll give you our opinions at the end. So just hang in. But what I like about the footage, because this story comes with footage, it's like two footages. Because first you have the footage of the UFO, then you have the footage of the Burrito Alien.
You do have the footage of the burrito. Are you gonna play the audio of this?
I'm not gonna play the audio.
Okay, I mean the audio. Well, for anybody that was to watch this after, I think the audio is very much key to this as well, because it's very dramatic. Was the music over the video that you played? Because I have the raw footage, which I didn't get any claims for. It was just the raw footage, the same one that I played on my channel. I actually have the YouTube link, which I can.
I showed you, but see, David Banner's on about that video that we was watching before we started the show about the bracelet when he disappeared.
Yes.
So
Yes.
okay, so did you give the background, like when he was walking with his dog?
He was walking with his dog. The dog ran off. The dog was that he heard the dog a bark that he'd not heard from the dog before. He knew the dog sounded like it was in distress. He went down like a clearing. He then thought the dog had hold of a little kid, and it wasn't the dog that had hold of a little kid. It was this alien that had hold of the dog. Then the dog, then the alien's hand morphs off and tears the dog's head wide open.
Yeah,
and then he hits the alien with
but
a stick.
also while he did that as well, Jonathan said that he kind of like was dissolving the dog as well.
Oh yeah, I think the dog dissolved. Yeah,
the dog was dissolving as well. So guys, we should we just look? Yes, that's the one with the blinking. You know what we're on about, David Bannon. So I just got a few stills because the first footage is of him filming the craft. So this is one still of the craft.
The craft does come after, though. If you're going to go for the story, he saw the alien first. As the story goes, he went and filmed the alien first,
and then he saw the
craft. Then he saw the craft. Yeah,
because the footage is just him like in the woods, breathing heavily, filming the UFO.
Yeah, he's breathing very heavily, and his camera keeps flickering in and out.
Yeah, here's another picture of the craft, and he said that was suspended in air. It wasn't on the ground. And I believe he said he went over to it and touched it and tried to move it, and he couldn't move it.
He said it was. I think he said it was cold.
So I'm gonna get onto the footage. You guys ready for the footage?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Will I be able to find it? Oh, that's the other question. It does look like a hammock. It does indeed. What do you think it looks like, a hammock? Okay, so
yeah, mate. If you private chat, I'll put that's the link for the video
of yours.
Not mine. No, the just the normal. Somebody's put the entire thing out on YouTube. It's got no music over it. It's the original audio, and it's just the full video. It doesn't have the disappearing act though. But I think it's all in order.
What should I do? What do you think I should? Because I've got this. I'll tell you what.
Oh, you just play. If you got it already, play it then. Yeah. If I didn't realize you already had it. I thought you were looking for it.
No, I have it. Let's go and play. I'm gonna break it up into parts.
Oh, it needs to be broken up, definitely.
See what I mean about the breathing?
Yeah, he's going to ask me
a second far enough away that the electromagnetic disturbance doesn't bother them.
Oh yeah, I tell you, pause this one, mate. Play the one that I sent you. You'll be all right with that one. That's somebody else's commentary, I think.
I think it's Jonathan Reed. Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, I've put it in the private chat. If you just link, that's on YouTube, and it's all in order as well. It's
Okay, I think I'll do that. That will be better. Sorry, guys.
but I know it's hidden. It's hidden. It is really hard to actually. It is actually hard to find this footage. You have to kind of like that actual piece of him disappearing is we were struggling to find that.
Okay.
So when me and Rich played it last week, we did it so that me and him were on screen and we got no problems with YouTube. So do you know what I mean? So rather than play the full screen, just a little window, just you only need the window, to be fair.
So tell me which one would be right. Let me see now. Think I got it.
That's the one,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna press play.
Yeah.
Is that screen right?
Yep, that's perfect. This is the one that I used.
So that's the alien.
I remember the color of that alien as well.
It's the breathing, man.
Well, he said he was throwing up at the same time.
Yeah.
He said it smelt like rotten fruit.
Wow.
I can't remember the camera that he used, but also as well, it's the focus point on this type of camera is terrible.
There's the ship.
There's the ship. I mean, that's tiny.
But it was a tiny alien in there.
No, that's really tiny. I mean, it's like the size of a coffee table.
Is that what he said?
You can tell it's the size of a coffee table. No, but he did say it was very small. Yeah, he did say it was extra. He didn't know if it was a craft or what.
Now
Right,
here's.
Should we pause that for now? So what did you when you first saw that? What did you think to that?
What the first bit that we saw?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was interesting. Now, for them to, in my opinion, if it's faked, they would have had to build that because
yes,
I don't think
practical effects. Yeah, definitely.
They would have to. They couldn't have CGI'd that.
It was 1997.
Yeah. I like the UFO. It doesn't look like a saucer, considering it looks something totally different.
Yep.
But there are very smart people with very intelligent minds that would know how to do that.
What you got to take into consideration as well is the bad quality video can hide a lot
of sins.
Yes, hide a lot.
Just like night footage.
Again, I'm not going to call anybody any names or anything like that, but what I will say, I will let you know what I think to this, especially when the burrito gets unwrapped. But for me, you got to take the story into account. This guy hit the alien in the head that killed his dog. It ripped his dog's head wide open. Then the dog dissolved. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
He then went home and he got his camcorder and went back out. Now, in his defense, he said he did that because he didn't know what he'd killed and didn't know if he'd murdered somebody, and also he didn't know if his mind was playing tricks on him. So that's why he went back out there. But when he went back out, he was throwing up. So that's why that's why he sounds like he's met the woman of his dreams. If you know what I mean.
I was just reading this question here. Can you see that question, Ollie?
I can, but I'm dyslexic, so you're gonna have to read it out for me.
Okay. It says we're talking too much about the videos. Oh, it just went off.
What's gone off? It's still there.
There it is. No, I'm reading the chat, and as it moves, it goes. Okay, we're talking too much about the videos and ifs and buts. However, we should be discussing the character of the man behind it. That's usually the easiest way to disprove this stuff.
Okay, so the guy I can't remember what he's a doctor of, but as the story goes on, which what obviously we will get to, the interview, his full interview is on DrJ's channel.
I will be putting links to that.
You can no longer find evidence of him as a doctor. It's kind of like a Bob Lazar. The evidence has been removed. His life has been erased.
Well, a little bit of what I got about him is they saying that he calls himself a psychiatrist. So
right.
that
no, he did. I'm sure he did have a practice. Yeah, okay. He did, because in the interview that you was watching, as that goes on, you do hear him say his entire career got erased. So,
yeah, because he's supposed to be. Well, he was supposed to be in hiding for some time, as well as the story goes. But do you want to? Should we carry on?
Yes, because I can show you some interesting stuff.
So we're going to get to the burritos. Just tell me when to pause it.
Yeah, but yeah, if you get it so you can see me and you as well, because I'll show you something.
Okay. I'm wrapping the burrito.
Do you remember the color of it in the woods?
Yeah.
It was like a bluey, light gray, almost white. Yeah. That thing's
brown gray.
If you want to pause that there, actually wait until it zooms in a bit. Wait, keep it playing for a bit. You see, if you pause that anywhere when it's zoomed, where that head's zoomed in quite a lot, if you give it where that shine is there, anywhere there, pause it there. Okay, so if you bring me up full screen now, I'm going to show you something. I know what he's done. If you just click on my screen to full screen, so I can show you your audience this.
Oh, that's me. How do I do that, Ollie?
It's fine. That'll do. You can see enough. You just click on my square at the bottom, and you click the full. There's like a thing to bring up full. So you click on my actual. That's it. There you go.
Thank you. See, I learned something new now.
So I studied art and design at college, and I did graphic advertisement at college, and my entire college and university career was just a flop because I was just interested in girls and drinking. So
As
I
you
didn't do very well, but I have a an art for doing things, and I dug this out literally for this video. So I was making and anybody who goes back, I haven't made this for this at all. I made this years ago. It's on my channel going back, where I was going to make an actual creature, like a wraith or something. But anyway, I'm going to show you the material that this is made out of. This is called monster clay. And this is something that people have been creating special effects out of for many years now. And this is a special type of clay that is oil based, so it never dries. So you can move it. You can get different types of this. So this has took a lot of knocks over the years, because this is very old. This is like, I think it's about 6 years old. I never finished it. I just started working on it, and it was going to have eyes in it and stuff like that. And you can see I don't know if you can see the ligaments in the neck and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this you can also paint as well. But if you bring so it's just me and you with that screen of the little alien guy on, and you look at the color of it. So
I'm getting it.
There you go. So if you look at the color of that, I think that's clay. That is clay that's not been painted, and I think it's a soft version of monster clay, or whatever they used at the time. It may have not been called monster clay back then, but this stuff they've been using this for years. It's amazing stuff. It's like actual clay. He may have even done it out of real clay. I think it's monster clay, though, a soft version of it, because he opens the mouth. Now, if you press play on this.
Okay. Let me just there we go.
But you can see the shine on this, and you can see fingerprints. You can see fingerprints on that thing's face.
See, I was thinking that. But isn't it the eyes?
Yeah, but I could put eyes underneath this marbles. I could put and I can also, if it's soft enough, you can heat this stuff up, or you can get a soft version that you can pull it. You can pull it. But what you can see, he's pulling it there. If this was soft, you could pull this. No problem. This is kind of set because it's just been sat here cold. But this is a hard version of monster clay. You can get different textures. But what I think he's done is to create this hoax, he has done this first. Now, if he comes on the show, I'll ask him this. And he can then dispute or whatever. But this here, underneath this, in fact, I'll show you. So, things I'm going to do for you here. If I remember rightly, there may be something in. So if you bring my screen back up, I'm going to cut into this thing now. So you see that?
Yeah.
That's going in.
Don't tear it up too much.
It's fine. I can fix it. So here, I've created a flap. Okay.
And it looks very similar to the womb of the alien.
And I've just done that live for your video. Underneath there is foil, tin foil. Can you see that? There's tin foil in there, and other stuff to bulk it out, because this stuff's expensive. I didn't want to use all of this stuff just for this video. or just for, you know, it just, sorry, not for the video. I didn't want to use all the clay when I first made this for this actual model, because you waste it. So what you do when you make this is you make a frame first with something, and then so this thing, when I was going to do it, I wasn't going to make an alien hoax, people, though I may do. I was going to put like marbles in its eyes and what have you, and have it like a little bit of an old looking, wrinkly kind of alien thing. But you see there, I can easily fix this now. And what I'm going to show you, I made. Now, that's only kind of temporary fix, but you see that? It's gone. It's there where it was, where the hole was, but you can mold over this. So what I'm saying there is, when his mouth opens and his eyelids are moving, you can easily put the things back. But if it's soft clay, when you're squeezing certain parts, this thing can move. But what I think he's done is the part where he takes it home is the first hoax. The part where he takes, you can get rid of me, you know, just looking at myself. The part where this video here, the examination, I think he did this first, and then
he molded it back.
No, he may have molded it back a little bit. No, because it had the womb in the woods. But what I think he's done, he's then painted this clay. Because if you notice the color texture in the woods, he's then put the detail on. You don't need the detail here. This, I don't know if he planned this out properly. Basically, I think he started with this and then thought, where do I go with this now? I've done this thing with this monster clay, or whatever he's used. Something very similar to monster clay, I think he's used. He's done this, and then afterwards he's had the afterthought and thought, I need this story to be a little bit better than just this autopsy. He's then painted it, and the excuse there is this thing is dead there. That's why its color's changed. Its color's changed to this brown color because it's been dead a while.
Yeah, I was going to say he answered that question about the color being.
He did. But I think what he started with this, and then he painted it after. And you've probably got some of the photographs of this.
I do. I was going to show the photographs afterwards.
And it looks really detailed. But I guarantee you give me a week with this thing. In fact, scrap this one. This one's old. I've got more monster clay in the garage. I could make an actual proper alien and paint it and make it look really real.
But the big question is, would you wrap it up in foil and serve it as a burrito? Joking.
I think you need to. I think you need to do that. The only way.
So should we carry on with the video?
Yeah,
then?
yeah.
So what is that we're looking at? The brain matter now?
Yeah. You see, why is he said this thing was really light as well, and also he's grunting when he's moving it.
I don't know.
So here, I think he's added detail.
Yeah.
Because there's no detail on that. There's hardly any detail on it, on the video. There, he's added more detail afterwards. You can easily do that sort of detail with this sort of
We got
once
to
you-
get. I was just going to say, we got to get this guy on the show. I need you on the show as well, and we're gonna.
I just want to know why he's not shaved his mustache after all these years. So he makes a big deal about the original film negatives that they've not been messed with. But if I took a picture of something that's practical, you know, the negative would be real. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I did see him showing the picture of the negative.
Yeah, but that's no big deal for a practical effect.
Indeed.
And that's when I recorded this sound.
Would you play the sound for us once again, please?
Now he says, hold on, we'll wait till that finishes before we get into that one.
I mean, we can't hear it anyway. It's very low, but the thing is, and this is what a lot of I mean, I don't like to call them hoaxes because for me, this is just, it's so fun. I'll pause that there. I'll just mute it.
I'll just mute it, you know, let it play out.
In 1997, there's no YouTube, okay? The people you're trying to fool are like MUFON and all those. And if somebody's not into UFOs, and I don't think this guy was into UFOs back then, he probably knew very little about them. Though the black triangle thing is quite
interesting,
genius. And people think, well, how could that be done? Well, you see all the leaves. You could easily have a pole stood, and that thing could be stood in the ground. The base could be on the ground. The pole, you just can't see that. You can't see the bottom of it, and you can't get the full detail of that thing off that image. You have no idea what that thing could be made out of wood for all you know.
There's
and this is where he made the mistake. This is where he made the mistake.
Now, where did he get the bracelet? Was that off of the alien?
So I made a mistake last week. I spoke about this on my show last Friday, and I did say you can't see this bracelet on the alien's arm or when he's out in the woods. It wasn't. It'd fallen behind. It was. He found it on the floor. The thing with this is the disappearing act. He went too far. Not only did he go too far with all the sound effects, if I'd have put this video out and wanted to hoax this.
That's his dog that got ripped in half.
Beautiful dog. If I was to do this and do a hoax like this, I would have probably taken the breathing down a notch. A lot, in fact. And I forget the fact that he's not fought to decorate the alien first, and he's done it as clay because he's got away with that by saying, well, that's what color it turned once it was dead, even though it wasn't dead because his thing came back to life and tried to get out of his freezer. but it's the bracelet, the disappearing act on the bracelet. I mean, do you know the story about this thing trying to get out of his freezer as well?
No. Please share.
So the alien is called Freddy, and I think the Men in Black came to visit him 3 days later, apparently. You've got people's gonna have to go and watch Dr. J's interview, which Dr. J does sound like he believes him every word he says, which, you know, each to their own. I don't judge people for that. If you want to believe it, that's your own thing. I personally do not believe this guy one bit. Everything's far too dramatic. Would I go so far as like some of these UFO terrible hoax about it was 1997. The guy probably now realizes he can't go back. He's just got to stick with it. And he's getting all these. And it's now re-emerging. People are wanting to speak with him. People are wanting the interviews. I would gladly have him on the show. I would like to come on. If you've got him on, definitely. I'll speak to the guy.
All I can do is reach out to him and see if he'll come.
Do it. If you build it, he will come.
I will do.
In fact, if you get him, if you give me a week, if you get him, I'll make the entire alien, and I'll bring it, stand it up. He did say that this thing was, which I did think this bit was clever. He said that this alien was a cross between it was like a turtle. It had turtle gene or something like that. It does look a bit turtley, you know.
Well, there's a picture of its head.
Yeah, you see now that it's got the picture and it's got all the detail added to it, it looks good. It's not half bad at all.
What do you mean? Are you leaning over to the side that? Well, hold on now. This could be real.
No. I'm just saying he's added detail to it when he's taking the pictures.
Here's when one of these. Mm-hmm. Sorry, go on.
No. I'm saying once he's painted it up, he's added detail. He's added more detail to the original. The autopsy, there wasn't a lot of. He's added extra once he's done the photographs. Do you get what I mean? And when he was out in that woods, yeah.
So,
have you got the disappearing act?
Oh God.
Because that we got to play that because
we got to. Okay, let me just show one more of the alien with its head, the head matter hanging out. You guys see that? Okay. Well, can you say something while I find it?
Yeah. I mean, it almost looks there like it looks like he's put something over it, like a skin over the clay, which could be I reckon he's used an acrylic paint on that, and he's dry brushed the veins. So the details underneath. That is completely changed there to the original, the autopsy, not autopsy, the examination on the table. It looks completely different.
It does.
And even though that was bad footage, like the camera quality wasn't great, you would still see some of those veins, and they weren't there before. There were none of that.
I still, we got to get him on the show. We got to get him on the show because you're saying some poignant things that only he could address.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, do you know what? If I think somebody's created a hoax and then they come on and face the person and say, "No, I haven't," balls of steel. But this, to me, this is where he went too far. This is the bracelet where he showed an audience. Bear in mind, I think this is meant to be a live audience. You can only see Dr. Reed. You can only see Dr. Reed, but you can hear the very real audience.
Okay, I'm gonna press play on this now. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, oh, I took out the sound.
You'd be fine. Yeah, be fine. There's no music.
And the people an
You might need to
opportunity
turn it
to
up though.
understand better the circumstances relating to my encounters and what has happened during my life. In 2001, I was invited by Jaime Maussan to come to Mexico and tell my story to the people of Mexico and consequently to the world. Between the people of Mexico, Jaime Maussan, and Art Bell, I was able to tell my story to millions and millions of people who have been supportive over the years and have given me the strength to continue. Back then, I had hoped to be able to demonstrate the link bracelet or artifact in Mexico, but consequently, due to security issues, it was impossible at the time. And now that we live in a time of war and terrorism around the world, it's impossible to transport the link device anywhere across anyone's borders. So, as you have invited me here, I will take this opportunity to dedicate the possibility of using the artifact in public on live television in your live program today.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Catfish.
hopefully we can see if it will in fact function, because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's a matter of them not allowing it to happen. It's a two-phase operation.
So he's demonstrating this on live television.
It's up to them. They are the owners. They are the ones that decide if, in fact, it is going to function. I'd just like to say thank you to all of the people of Mexico and to all of the people all around the world who have done so much to help me personally and all of the other people who have had contact around the world. There are millions and millions of people who have supported me and thousands of other people who have had contact like myself that continues to this very day. Years. I have learned that I have been given a responsibility and an opportunity to care for this device. It is something that is very sacred, and it is one of several that has been held in safekeeping around the world.
What is several?
For over 60 years. I have talked with many of the other people who have found these devices, and now we know and are learning what the responsibility and what some of the functions are of these devices. Truly, truly a technology that is so far advanced from anything that humans have yet to even scratch the surface. This is what so many people have tried to say doesn't exist, or simply is a figment of someone's imagination. It has symbols across the front of it. This is
Look how big that thing is. That was on that alien's wrist,
Forest
apparently.
In 1996, when I first
And the alien was the size of a 12-year-old child.
I would say 6, 8.
Some kind of bioelectric interface between the wearer of this device.
Too big for an
and
alien, yeah.
the
We all know
owners
what
of it
size aliens
that
are.
they actually activated. It has 3 needles on the inside that actually penetrate your arm, the wearer of this, that I think creates a interface, biological interface with the device and or the beings who use it.
That's it. You find a
So,
bracelet that's
my
alien, it's got
impression
needles
of it is
inside,
that
and you think, you know
it's
what?
designed to keep
Sod it.
control and communication between the extraterrestrial and their superiors. I believe it fits on your arm, the wearer's arm, like this. If you push down, the needles penetrate your skin, tissue, and into the nerves of your arm. There is some pain to it, but it quickly goes away. It becomes kind of a cold, almost a frozen type feeling. Very quickly, that pain subsides. But if it functions, which sometimes it doesn't, it starts a throbbing inside your chest, literally a pulsation inside your chest that starts from the center and emanates to your extremities and becomes harder and harder. And then when that happens, then it starts to be activated by there. Now I can feel it. I can feel it in my chest. Painful. But if I hold my chest, it has a tendency to be less painful. And then they make the decision whether
there's the live audience.
But wait, there's more.
I'm sure once somebody disappears, then the audience just go quiet.
It's like, where is he, man?
They do one scream when he disappears, then silence.
And he's back in the room. I think that's enough.
So now hidden. Do you see why I went too far?
Yeah, I do.
Do you still think do you think he could have possibly bumped into the real alien?
If we could get him on the show and he could do that on the live show, then I'd be. There's a lot of things, because if you notice, when he disappeared, the wallpaper disappeared as well.
I think he's done. I think. I mean, I'm not. I don't know how to do the effects with video tape, but I think there's something where you can stitch tape or do something where you do something like that. You know, a practical effect on a videotape.
Well, if that was in a studio,
it wasn't in a studio. It was in his house, I reckon.
Okay, but for argument's sake, because he was saying that that was done in Mexico, wasn't that? Jamie Massar,
Jaime Maussan.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't like that guy one bit, to be honest. But anyways, I know he's famous and everything, but he would add him in the studio. Let's say if it was a studio, they could easily do that. It could be easily done because they got different cameras they can switch to and give different effects.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think that I don't know. Oh, go on.
I honestly, I think anybody that goes out and defends that guy and says it's real. I mean, if you want to believe it's real, that's fine. But I'm telling you now, you give me the right tools, I could fake that. The problem with now is camera quality is better. So I could do something to a certain degree with clay, but you'd see straight through it. You would probably see the acrylic paint on this thing, you know. But you can do detail, like, again, you can do bone structure, you can do muscle structure and all sorts of stuff. This is like some sort of scarecrowy looking alien. I don't know what it is. It's just like a weird thing, but there's loads of people that can make things.
Yeah. Oh, indeed.
And I seriously think that guy used some sort of clay, didn't thought I'd do some sort of alien inspection, autopsy thing, whatever, and then thought this isn't enough, I need to do something else. Then it was the afterthought to do the backstory of the dog. I think that's what happened, and that's why what you see on the table is clay. And when it goes to the forest scene, you see an alien that's got a blue-gray tinge because he's painted it afterwards. It's the start of the hoax was probably the alien on the table, and maybe the triangular craft. That's my 2 pence worth.
So you're saying you believe he possibly faked it?
Me personally, I would put my mortgage on it.
Oh dear! Oh dear!
I would put my house on it. In fact, I put my wife on it.
Uh-oh.
You take my wife.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I bet my testicles. Put it that way. Yeah, I'm that. I am that sure that guy faked that. There's too much. There's so much. It's so dramatic, you know. The whole. So, I can't imagine. I don't know what that technology would be like, but when somebody disappears, yeah. Can you imagine if you was watching Star Trek and beam me up, Scotty, and as he got beamed up, and like you know, it's just, and what guy in the right mind you find an alien object that has spikes on it on one side, and you think, you know what? And if I was on my show, I'd use the F word for this, but F it, I'm going to slam this on my arm and see. Let's just see what happens. This thing's torn your dog's head off.
Yeah, what if that's some sort of weapon or?
But now it comes back to visit him.
But didn't he kill the alien?
No. He thought it was dead. He put it in his freezer. Yeah, but it got out of his freezer and it started screaming. And now to this day, he calls it Freddy. Even though it killed his dog, he's gained a mutual respect for it, and it comes back and visits him.
To be honest, if I saw something that ripped my dog in two and then dissolved it into ash, I think I would have to respect that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm making light of it. I personally,
if you had seen it, yeah, I get it.
So I entertaining. I think it's entertaining. True or false?
Oh, I love it. I honestly, a lot of people get offended by these hoaxes. It gives YouTube channels that do UFO videos something to moan about, whinge about, and have drama about. So I love it. Without these people, you know, I would have nothing to speak about.
But he also does the circuits as well, doesn't he? Telling his story.
Yeah, I mean that. So he gets a bob or two. You know, these people, they make money off this and that. That's what they've done there. I don't know if you know, I interviewed I interviewed Steve Pierce, the youngest guy that took the lie detector test from the Travis Walton case. And then after him, I interviewed Mike Rogers, the crew, the crew boss, the boss that took them all out into the woods, the guy that was driving the car, the van that escaped when Travis was zapped. I interviewed him as well.
Okay.
Now, I went in that interview with a massive skeptical mind because I'd already seen things about them faking the Travis Walton case. But after the interview, my mind got kind of changed from speaking with Mike offline and speaking with him on 2 shows now. I thought, you know what, maybe that did happen, because I was kind of convinced that Travis, Mike Rogers, Travis's brother, maybe somebody else had faked it with this Gentry Tower and convinced the other people in the car that Travis had been abducted by aliens. So only 3 of them were actually in on it. And that's why they passed the lie detector test. But I don't know. I kind of got 50-50 with, well, maybe I'm like 30% of me believes it. And I'd say, yeah, that there's this 70% of me that doesn't believe it. But that's because I am a massive skeptic. And I said this to Mike. I said I'm a massive skeptic, but you know what? You've kind of convinced me a little bit there that it definitely happened. But Mike Rogers, he came out and said that he couldn't support it anymore. But then he explained why he couldn't support it, because he didn't actually see where Travis went, even though he did see him get taken by a UFO. My point there being is, if I spoke with this guy in person and he can convince me that that wasn't a piece of clay on a table, and that his dramatic acting was just because of how natural, and that's how he is, and he's just a real ballsy guy that will stick alien needles in his arm attached to a piece of metal, then who knows? I might believe the guy.
See,
there might be 2% of me that believes the guy.
See, I went into the Burrito Alien as kind of a joke. But then when you sent me the link and I was watching what he was saying on DrJ's show, I started changing my opinion on it, thinking that this could be possible. And then when we see him doing his teleporting stuff, there you go. There you go. So I just think, as far as entertainment, I think that it's brilliant entertainment.
Oh, it's entertaining as hell. Yeah, it really is. I mean,
you guys, I will put the link in the description box to the DrJ interview, and if you guys want to look at, because he interviewed Dr. Jonathan Reed. He interviewed him, and he's very convincing. But then again, so are the best con men in this world, because they believe the lie. So they are convincing. So I'm gonna try my hardest and get this guy on the show.
You want to speak to Doc? Do you know DrJ?
I don't know him personally. No.
I'd probably maybe email DrJ first and see if you, because I mean, DrJ believes it, which I don't know if he does. Well, he said he did, but if you look at his face in the interview, you look at DrJ's face in the interview, his face says otherwise. To me, his face says this guy's full of shit. But that's just me.
Well, like I said, if I can get him on the show, will you be there?
Oh yeah, with bells on.
because I'm the kind of guy, like, I would say, oh yeah, and agree, and not really know what I'm agreeing about. Other than, wow, I've got this guy talking about this alien that he wrapped up in foil.
I mean, here's the thing, like, I hear other talk shows say about the other UFO talk shows say that you need to call this guy out for being, when you have a guest on your show, I think it's harder. It's not hard. I could quite easily
you want to be
to
respectful.
Somebody.
You just want to be respectful to him.
It's not that. Well, it is that, but at the same time, you got to think. I'm a show. Me personally, so my show is all about getting guests on that have stories that have been abducted, slept with aliens, you name it. They've done it on my show. I've interviewed a woman that's met every single species going, and if I did it, and I ask them these questions, and I do I do probe them, if you know what I mean.
Not anally.
But if I was a complete, if I was just nasty to them, I guarantee you I wouldn't. I'd stop getting guests on the show.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I think you can do it. I think you can ask people the questions without being you can.
Yeah, no, they're tactful. There is a way of doing it.
And you have to do that as a host. You have to do that. Otherwise, you'll stop getting the guests. Simple as it. That is that simple. You will stop getting the guests because those guests will, other people that go, when you go, hey, yeah, I've seen your I've seen your Burrito Alien. It's great. I'd like to interview on the show. They go and they look at the past few videos that you've done with guests and see that you're a complete and utter
tool,
yeah, to your guests. So they'll go, well, you know what? I'm not going to risk going on that show because I'm just going to get torn to pieces. So what do you do? Do you try and meet in the middle? I think that's the best way to do it.
That's what I was going to say. You try and be a bit tactful in what you're doing, but you also want, at the end of the day, we owe our audience, our viewers, our listeners, we owe them the truth.
Yeah.
And that is the whole crux of it. So if we have a guy like that on here, I mean, I'm 50-50 with him. I can see how it's done. I'm less than 50-50. I gotta say that I'm less than 50-50 now that I saw the teleportation video. I've never seen that one. I've never heard of it till you.
Are you a 30-70?
What would Rich be on this one?
Rich doesn't believe it for a second.
Okay, I'll say 30-70. But
so I'm literally 100%. This guy is full of it.
Okay, we need him on. So, well, this is possibly one of the longest.
But I will tell him that. I will tell him he's full of it in the nicest possible way. You know.
Oh yeah, I know you would. It's Lee, I believe, that wouldn't tell him in the nicest possible way. He would just come out straight with it.
Yeah.
By the way, Lee's he runs a channel called
Musty Audio Podcaster.
Yeah, and he's a really nice guy, really funny guy, and he just says it how it is, and that's what I like.
Yeah, he's a gem.
Well, guys, we've been 2 hours and 20 minutes, man. This is like I normally try and keep the shows for an hour.
Sorry, man.
So no worries, man. It's you know when you have a great guest, doesn't the time just fly?
Oh, appreciate that, mate. You're a great host.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm not, but thank you.
Sure.
So, Ali, is there anything? Who have you got coming up this Friday on your show? Have you got any guests?
This Friday, we are talking about. So I've got Scott Brown. Do you know Scott Brown?
No, I don't.
Scott, Scott's quite big in ufology. He goes on Erica Luke's show quite often as well. But Scott's been around for a long time. He's very knowledgeable. Great, Scott Brown. Good guy to follow on Twitter and get him on the show if you want to ask him about anything to do with UFOs. He's top. Because I'm not a ufologist at all. I'm just some guy that has a talk show that talks about aliens, paranormal, ghosts, everything. You know, it's all out there, and drama, a lot of drama. So if you don't like drama, you will not like you won't like Alien Addicts. There's a lot of drama on there.
There is. That's why I just sit there and laugh.
It's definitely over 18s, people. It's not for the if your ears don't like F-bombs, don't come over.
Well, Rich is on there for a start. So
yeah, Rich is. I like Rich. It's a good me and Rich have been friends since Rich had, I think, 600 subscribers. So we've been friends for a long time now. And I know a lot of people have the beef with him, but I love the man to pieces. I know him. He hasn't got a bad bone in his body.
Yes.
He just says it how it is.
And that's the problem. Some people don't like it. They don't like being called out.
Here's the thing. This beef that's going on with Rich and Stephen Cambion. I'm friends with Stephen as well. I was messaging him the other day and said, listen, I want you got to come on. I want you and Rich on together. Everybody wants to see that happen. But I actually think at the end of that conversation, the end of that show, they will probably come out shaking internet hands, you know?
Well, that's what you think. I don't think so. Rich said he's done with him.
Well, were you on the show with when I had Lou from UCR?
No,
Unidentified Celebrity Review. I had him and Rich on the same show, and Manny was on as well, and that became very, very hostile, especially halfway through the show. There was a lot of shouting back and forth, but at the end of that, they both kind of, for a brief period of time, had a bit of respect for each other. But then that all went down the pan again. So,
well, I saw the video that he put out.
Yeah, but I want to get Rich and Stephen Cambion on, and people say, yeah, you want to do it for the views. You're right. I'm not gonna lie. I like the drama. I enjoy it.
He does, guys. He's a lovely. Ali is a lovely man. I have the utmost respect for him, but he loves to be in the middle of the drama, stirring the pot, man, stirring the pot.
No, I don't stir it. I don't do any stirring. I just, if I see it happening, I'm like,
you got to be on my show.
Yeah, come here. and anybody that says that they don't like it, you know, when they go, some people generally don't. That's fair enough. The ones that go in between the two shows, like Goof On Show and Truth Seekers Show, and watch both shows, and they see that one of them thumbnails, if Truth Seekers got a thumbnail and it's got Goof On it, or Goof On's got a thumbnail and it's got Truth Seekers on it, they're like, oh yes, because I'm exactly the same. I'm like, this is going to be good. So yeah.
Oh, well.
So that's me.
Well,
Alien Addict.
So that's Alien Addict. And
Drama Addict.
Yep, Drama Addict. Or as hell. Oh God. I'm gonna get it now. As Hell 21 called you, a drama farmer.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
You're gonna use that. Use that one of your
use that in a thumbnail.
Edit the drama farmer. Rich and Steve Cambion.
But yeah, this week there's no drama. I don't. There may be a little bit. I don't know. But this week is all about the shapes of UFOs.
Yeah, I think. You know what? I think I will be on that show as well. If
More than
that
welcome,
invite still stands.
That invite is always there, my friend.
I'll tell you what. I'll guys. I will definitely be there then.
Oh well, you'll meet Scott Brown. He's going to be on.
Okay. I don't know him. Will he be offended if I say I don't know you?
Just pretend you know him.
Okay. I'll be more offended if he didn't know me. No, I'm playing.
He won't. Scott's a lovely bloke. He won't be offended by anything.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Well, so guys,
and I think there's going to be Lee, and there'll be Rich, obviously.
Oh, the dream team then.
And maybe Stephen can be in if I send him a sneaky message.
Well, guys, anything else? Do you want to give a shout out? You're also on Twitter, Alien Addict on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Is there any other pages, or is just YouTube? Are you a bit like me, just stays on YouTube?
I do some arty stuff on. I've got Alien Addict on Instagram where I just do put arty stuff up. It's nothing to do with the channel. It's alien art, basically. Alien art, space art, and stuff like that. All that sort of stuff. Things like this, and Twitter is Twitter and YouTube, and I have made a Rumble account if things go tits up with YouTube.
Well, see, now that name's stuck. Jeff has posted your link. Subscribe to Drama Farmer. Thank you, Jeff, for posting. Thank you, Jeff, for posting up the links, Jeff. Man. Much love, man. Much love, brother. Jeff is my 420 brother. I shouldn't say that because we have a few 420 people. You know, sometimes I'm in the show and I just type out 420 and I see who's there and we have a little smoke. So there you go, guys. So this was Ollie from Alien Addicts, and I'd just like to say thank you guys for turning up. Thank you to the mods. Thank you for your kind donations, man. Much appreciated. Thank you, Mr. Catfish. Am I right, Mr. Catfish? Thank you for your donation. Thank you for the donation that came through on PayPal. Thank you, much appreciated, and blown away by that as well. So thank you so much. So guys, I always like to leave the show with some words of wisdom, but I'm going to say, Ollie, do you have any words of wisdom for these kind people? I think he's turned off his mic.
If it looks like a burrito, it's probably burrito.
There you go. There you go.
And I think you know what that means. If it looks too good to be true,
then it's probably not. It's probably not. And on that note, thank you guys. Thank you guys for turning up, man. Thank you. As always, I much appreciate it. And thank you to the mods for doing your outstanding job, as always. I got much love for you guys. So I always say, and that seems to be a cliche when I'm ending the show, I always say that, you know, we should always look after each other, treat people the way we want to be treated. But I also see a lot of things going wrong in this world, and people always talking about change. And that change that we desire has to come from within ourselves, because we are the model of society. And if we do not show people who are acting wrong how to act right, they're still going to act wrong. So on that note, just always stay blessed and keep safe. And thank you guys for turning up.
That was beautiful.
We're out of here.